right, New York City, let's start some action, shall we? We got Zeta Division versus NRG. Let's get this show on the road.
Let's get things started here on NRG's Corrode. Just 10 more seconds of breathing time before these two teams take to the map. NRG already looking to start things off strong in A main.
Modest Waylay is so good on this map when he's playing solo. Watch the way that he's going to take early fights this round towards A main.
His signature pick, starting things off with the rest of the pack, while Scuba a little bit solo, but Mata goes down first. It's Honey Bunny to find that shot. Now Scuba on the lurk is traded out, but NRG aren't slowing down. It's Honey Bunny in the corner. Got that first shot, it's gonna get a couple more. It's a 3K, and Zeta take the pistol.
How is no one looking at Honey Bunny? Goes completely undetected, tucked close in the corner, and finds 3 kills to start this one for Zeta again. There is something about them in these pistol rounds. When they played their bind against FNATIC, it was a 3K on the pistol in a very similar scenario for Sugar Zero to get that train rolling. Here's Zeta do it again.
Yeah, we heard from NRG but before the match started that they didn't really know who Zeta was. Who was on that team, they were wondering, but I think after that pistol, they're going to be remembering the name Honey Bunny. NRG lose the 3K from the Viper, now change things up with 5 down mid.
A more reserved approach to mid control. This time expecting that pop flash. Very good from XDL to tuck in. This is a play that NRG do a lot if you were watching them at Champions. And Zeta handled it beautifully.
Yeah, just mowing him down. XDL with another 3K for Zeta. Actually means that Zeta are going to start stacking up some of these critical ultis early.
I do like that Zeta's playing the KO as well, because you saw with the double controller comp, especially in a double controller mirror, there's no better agent for popping through and going for fast hits off of it. Zeta, when they were playing their binds, they were very good at going for these late contact plays into fast pops. There it was off the Waylay diving, but it's just as good between Absol and Echo. But NRG's going to have similar win conditions as they get that Brock Odin online.
It's finally there. Triple regen shield as well, and both teams geared up to a fight over mid. It's Scuba on a molly kill, as a matter of fact, and Ethan not far behind him.
Spike down.
NRG wiped the floor with Zeta on their rifle round. Absol just the last man standing, and NRG respond.
The utility there was so nice from NRG. I believe throwing out the paranoia right side as Mata went in, and then that molly, after a bit of tag was done, the bullet tag gets him trapped inside, unable to swing and help his teammates towards elbow.
A little bit wild how quick these rounds have ended. Just a full brawl over mid, which was a signature the way NRG played so often.
NRG don't do that kind of round every time, though. They're very reserved, and when they actually commit to a full-on fight, you'll oftentimes see looks more like this default, where they start slower in mid and then look to re-clear or punish aggression in that area.
Yeah, or even send Mata in alone, always has the option to recall himself. Have a tough situation.
I love how good Waylay is for conditioning, because you can show the exact same hard dive with someone all the way into a site, but still be able to reset back into one of your lurkers.
Well, looking at things, XDL was matching the Odin from top mid, but down to 46 HP, has lost the spam battle to Brock early on.
Zeta are very happy to be holding mid control. If this B hit, which NRG is posturing towards, comes through, they will have very fast rotates into the site.
Down to a minute left, and that flash causes NRG make a whole lot of noise. Zeta weren't even fighting off of it. Now Mata will jump peek, ready to dive on into the site, but Zeta Division have some bodies here ready to fight this one out. Mata into the site, gets the first. And slows things down for a moment, taking his time around the other side of things while Echo gets back into the site. It's a brawl here. Zeta continue to send players into their demise. 2-on-2, now stuck into the corner. Kiko finds his. And it all comes down to Honey Bunny. And the 1-on-2, slowly taking his time. There's the first. And waiting, will it be the retreat? Honey Bunny doesn't know.
Scuba's all the way out into main.
Honey Bunny doesn't have smokes to play with. Doesn't have an infinite amount of time. That smoke on the ground is making things confusing for him. Really worried about a player on site, but now he finds Scuba. A tap of the spike, pushes around, but he needs to get back on there. Looking for the half stick, pulls away, and it's Scuba through the smoke to tie things up.
That was so well played from Scuba in the one-on-one. Absolutely playing with Honey Bunny's mind, throwing that orb up and down for about 20 seconds of the bomb time. Honeybunny thought Scuba was still in the site. Instead, he's just waiting, biding his time in main. And that's a critical round. Reset on the economy for Zeta. So we look back at that opening pick. That's a fight I'm going to be watching a lot this game. Mata does this pathing pretty frequently, where he goes into the shed on site. Because they are playing solo Waylay, it's pretty rare for him to actually want to pull back out on that retrack. Instead, he's almost always swinging towards elbow, and he's good for those fights.
Also finds those moments to slow things down after he takes the first gunfight. Meanwhile, Zeta have absolutely nothing going for themselves in this round. Decide to go for the save, and it means NRG have a free A site.
Yeah, they gamble stacked a little over towards B to go their way, as NRG will get a spike plant down.
Ethan actually... Brock is just going to melt them. I was going to say Ethan already had the ultimate, but this round is completely over for NRG, and the fact that they saved that ultimate, now Scuba gets his online as well, is a great sign for NRG.
I feel like this is the fastest 5 rounds of Valorant I've seen in a while. Game has been going very quick. Now back to the rifles. I'm interested if Zeta want to continue going for these early mid-fights. It's been successful, but they also might want to consider repositioning that Neon. You have a lot of options for great trap plays with that stun, or even to fight into mains as well.
The difficulty with setting up the traps is always almost has to be off of another player holding an angle. You can see that because they're not playing on those typical info senties. Here's a common dive pattern from Mata, up and over into Link, and he's waiting for it. Zeta Division brought a few more members to the party, though, so they trade.
That was very well prepared for Zeta. They have 3 hiding away, expecting that play, then send the Neon back in.
Absol just walked straight into that one, and there was actually a flash thrown all the way over the top from Ethan, but it came in just a half second too late.
Losing the lurker B, it's a pivot call for NRG. They'll be able to take this A site. The issue is getting Ethan out in mid, and they'll tuck away for now or head back forward.
Yeah, Ethan needs to be a big point of pressure here, but with so many players in mid, it's hard to imagine a world where he gets more than the one, and that's all he'll find.
Getting one is solid. He has info for his teammates, Brock and Kiko, in the post plant.
Planted.
How do they want to approach this? Brock deciding to play on site here, and the shots connect from Kiko on 2 HP. Finally spammed away. So now Brock must clutch it for NRG. Around the corner and taken down by Honeybunny.
From the games I've watched of Zeta thus far, I think I have been the most impressed by Honeybunny. In the FNATIC game, it was his consistent lurks on Viper that won them so many attack side rounds. His mechanics looked incredibly clean. And here in an even bigger game, he's continuing that form.
But this was what you're talking about, the good preparation of Zeta, knowing that this typical dive pattern comes in, so it's only ever a one for one. So many times in this round, NRG had players in good positions, but they were always outnumbered.
They're showing the prep. What do they expect NRG to do this round, though? 5 ultimates available. And NRG loves these A hits.
I'm sniffing out a full exec with these ultimates, and so is Zeta. Paranoia line ready from Sugar Zero. And here we go. Echo into the corner. 1 kill for him. A start as well. He's not done yet. He's still hungry for it. Ethan coming back on in. Will find his kill. It's all things said and done. It's just a 1 for 1.
But they're still going for it. NRG clear up through main and are ready to hit this site.
Yeah, Mata not wasting any time again. Even trades, even putting Absol stuck in the corner. And nothing he can do against the power of that Waylay ult. So now our attention turns over to XDL. NRG know his position. Honeybunny trying to come back over to support his teammate. Actually, getting back in the line is so difficult, especially when Brock is locking it down with the Odin. Brock will fall, but the rest of NRG is there.
You can credit Mata for the 2 kills he got that round, but I think the real reason that NRG won it was his util usage. Zeta had a great read, going for that read fight into A main off of NRG's execute. And it would have been so much better if he didn't have the perfect hinder to land onto Echo. So you watch it back. This is what I'm talking about. NRG TP out, watch that hinder. Hits onto Echo, the trade is there alongside the Hunter's Fury, and then when they accelerate, he gets his ultimate up and manages to kill Ibsol and cut anyone else from Zeta flooding into that site.
A good round from NRG. Ends up using 3 ultimates to secure that one, and now forced onto the eco. Appears they have guessed incorrectly where NRG have headed. That's been kind of standard on these eco rounds from Zeta. They've just been sort of on the wrong side of the map. On the full gamble stack, this time creeping through onto A. Scuba on a little jump peek. Hasn't found anyone just yet.
But they made noise jumping around the corner.
It's a good paranoia, though, to divide these players up. Hold on a second, Scuba needs to lock it down, and he does. 3 kills should be enough, but rifles have been recovered.
It'll be a 2-on-3 retake with those guns in hand. NRG will flip the map, plant open on B. Even with the weapons, it'll be a hard retake. I think the best solution is Honeybuddy does have a smoke if they can get onto the spike site.
Down numbers, Zeta realize they must divide and conquer. XTL spotted by Brock, who can stall him out pretty significantly. Trading utility on the other side, but Brock with the near sight still wants to challenge. Has the ping lodged in XTL. But now with the clock starting to wind down, you look at how Honey Bunny has fallen out from mid. It doesn't appear like Zeta want to play this out. And yet XTL has nowhere to go, so his gun will be lost regardless.
A valiant attempt for Zeta, finding some very good trades into main. But I don't necessarily love the approach in the end to split up on that 2-on-3. Once one of your players gets spotted and Brock realizes this guy's baiting way too much for someone else to be with him, it's a pretty easy matter to lock up the rest of the angles and win out on the anti-eco.
But ultimately, well, that was just a poor weaponry.
It was. And now here's the round with good guns. And what I'm looking at is Echo buying himself an operator. They've shown a lot of very fast starts to the round with the Neon. Here, they'll have him on a bit of a more passive line towards B and see if he can catch a lurker.
It is interesting to me, though, not seeing a timeout called from, honestly, either coach. The pace at which a lot of these rounds have been played, there's not been much room to breathe and reset yourselves, and NRG are maintaining that all the way up into mid now.
Absol in the close corner has an opportunity to swing.
Zeta actually a little bit behind the play, it seemed like. Absol goes back in, Kiko waits for him and shuts him down, and the whole time, NRG have worked up a lurk into A2.
Echo has gotten the line on B, but there's going to be a reclear on the other side. Scuba could go huge.
Oh, Honey is completely ready for that one, though. And that means Zeta have full control of both B main and A main. NRG need to work together as a pack. Now that's going to be a teleport back into spawn. NRG eyeing up a ping shot to the A site, and there's Kiko. The new kid on the block for NRG. Finds his mark. Now takes his time. His good flash sets up Ethan for his own kill. And NRG find themselves up too.
I don't even know if they want to go for this. Holding on to the operator, which they've yet to show, might be a safer choice.
It's full armor too, so 5,700 credits at risk of being lost. At a certain point, NRG might try to hunt, although they don't necessarily know that operator was picked up.
Still looking at the money. I'd expect at least 1 or 2 players to make a go of it. For Zeta that round though, they found great solutions on the extremity. An excellent kill from Honey Bunny to catch Lurk on A. Getting the op posted on B. I think the macro was all really good. Where it went wrong was NRG, completely stuck in mid, had that Omen TP to get towards CT on A. Kiko getting that kill absolutely opens up the map.
Yeah, the macro can look great, and then all of a sudden, Kiko can just blow things up with that teleport.
Because while mid control is important on this map, if you don't have one of the other extremities, it's just as hard as ramming your head through main when you go for an execute.
Which NRG have also been fairly successful at this game. Just the XX, the slow play as well. They're doing a little bit of everything.
So Zeta lost that round. They've lost 6 of the last 7, but I'm not particularly worried at least about the last one. XQQ will still take the time to call a timeout here, knowing that if they lose this round, the money is shot, and this quickly goes from what was a close half to quite a dominant one for NRG. Ramming your head through
I mean, looking at it, the money might be a little bit shot anyways, but XQQ gonna talk to his team now, try and figure things out. They only have 3 rounds to try and course correct, and honestly, with Zeta Division winning the pistol, this means they've only secured 1 singular rifle round for themselves. Now, to be fair, NRG, Corrode, synonymous, the best Corrode team in the world, for sure, proved that at Champions. But now Zeta need answers, and they need them fast.
On this run, Zeta, I think, have 2 choices. 1, show a very similar setup as last round, where they play passive, keeping Echo on the op. Or 2, they pop another fast play at the beginning of the round with him on the Neon ult and let someone else take that weapon. Either way, Echo has got to be the man to win them this round, to give Zeta some standing in this first half.
Or you keep it simple like the crowd was thinking. I saw a lot of love for the Odin out there, just using that one. Can simplify things a little bit.
They have the money for the Odin.
No, they don't. They don't exactly have that. Actually, 2 stingers, or a bulldog and a stinger. They switched things up at the last second, but it's not ideal. And NRG quickly up into mid. XTL has challenged these angles before, this time being bombarded by utility. And Mata continuing to spam. I mean, that's just silly. With a quick snap back as well. Means first blood for NRG.
So tough for Zeta. And now NRG will group up, leave mid, and call back into the B site. They've gambled wrong with the operator. And this round falls just to Absol, alone on the site.
And it's the Stinger, Mimi, as well. I mean, you're lucky to get 1 kill with this gun. 2 kills with the magazine, I'm not quite sure.
If he dies, Echo is likely just going to stay A and let this round slip away.
Yep, just save that up again. I mean, 3 rounds in a row, we're saving it, but we'll see what Absol can do here. Waiting inside of the smoke, but Suba just turns around. And Zeta seem like they want to keep playing this one out. As a matter of fact, 1 player dies. It's a teleport back into the smoke. Sugar 0, getting freaky with it. But again, it is Echo last alive.
Spike planted.
He's had to save twice in a row. Wants to at least try and find a shot, something, but NRG just won't give it.
But at this point, kills don't even matter. NRG have plenty of money. Now they've downloaded his position. It's time to run, Echo. There might not even be escaping this NRG squad. You can see them spreading across the map, trying to hunt down this operator. A big win for NRG to secure that.
All 4 avenues cut off to hold this off.
Even the smoke wall goes up for Scuba. Nice shot from Echo. He continues to stay alive. It tells you a lot that Ethan still has a flash and the nade up to hunt down the operator. Didn't need either of those things to actually take the B side or win that fight up into mid. NRG are looking a bit on cruise control on this attack side so far.
Mid on this map is a lot like a bit more complicated game of rock, paper, scissors, and it feels like NRG always pick the right option. When they want to go aggressive, they pick the right timings to send Mata in. When they're expecting a play, they're willing to slow things down there, which is a beautiful dive from Mata, exploiting that there's been a player playing either far top mid or in that close right corner every single round to get NRG their opener.
And immediately after blowing up mid, NRG play around where they're not going to go there. Zeta were considering putting 4 players in the space, again on the eco. This time not pushing too aggressively into either of the mains, but Mata finds that first shot.
Yeah, that little angle on the boost is very hard to deal with.
Is this a double outlaw round from NRG?
Oh yeah.
That's just nasty.
And they're patient this time. If they're picking mid, wait for any type of re-aggression. Because Zeta has been playing so heavily for mid, these sites have been very weak. And I mean, you saw in this round, on these lighter buys, Zeta has been doing some kind of gamble stack every time. The previous 2 was on one of the sites. Here it was the stack to fight for mid. But either way, NRG has always been able to piece out where that stack is and avoid it, as it looks like they're going to again here.
They can switch off the outlaws, go back to the guns. That's how much money they have in the bank. Like you're talking about with these weak sites, these empty sites, I do think a little bit of it is Zeta not playing, you know, a standard Sentinel on the map. They have way less just hard stall. A little bit more encouraged to go out and seek out the fights. And, well, they've either been finding the fights and losing them for the most part, or not finding them, and NRG just get free plants round after round.
It's bad guns for Zeta on this retake. And it'll be extra challenging as the majority of these players are all grouped together towards defender spawn. How do you get through a Viper Spit, an Odin, steal a util in the hands of these players?
It's a little bit grim, that's for sure, especially as NRG continues stalling out that choke towards spawn. Zeta without pressure through mid or on the flank have to go through just this one choke point. And it's not looking so good for them either.
Even if they get into the pit, the spike is planted where Brock can just spam it.
Look at the ults from NRG, right? 2 off of Ethan, 1 off from Mata. Zeta Division don't want to give kills over.
I don't know if they have a choice, though. Kiko's going to get at least one. The other players won't have the luxury. They're getting pushed.
That's all good. As long as Ethan isn't getting the kills, you're kind of fine with it.
Ethan dying is fine as well.
Yeah.
Gets him a pip either way. 1 off now.
Can play for one of the mains, easily pick up that orb and slam into a site without worrying about any stall. So that is now 5 unanswered from NRG.
They are stomping this one. What do Zeta do? They struggled when they try and go heavy on the fights into mid. When they try and go in towards extremities, it doesn't work out for them either. And the pressure is on for them. On a big stage after winning 2 BO1s against top teams, you have to be on top of the world. But NRG is bringing them back down.
A slow start here in round 12. As Mata with the attack op just drills XDL in mid.
He loves doing this. We were watching his games yesterday where he also pulls out these ops at the right time. Keith goes off. That one doesn't quite find the shot.
Nope. After the double outlaw round, they go to the double op, but it's a mixed bag. Now, Absol with a chance to catch Scuba. Scuba was waiting for him, completely prepared, now advancing, but not ready, not with the gun out. Sugar Zero is there, and Sugar could be the hero. The only anchor towards this A side, NRG haven't been able to scale quickly. It's still Mata with the operator in hand. And NRG with a minute on the clock decide to leave Brock in mid. They don't have to rush things. They have time to work with.
Letting that op from Mata repost on a line. When they do call this execute, a waylay ult available.
Yeah, waiting for that smoke to go down and waiting for the re-aggro. Ethan is for the 2K. NRG continue to run away with things here. Mata even dashing back spawn with the op. I mean, it's just brutal what NRG did, resetting fully after the lost pistol to lead 9-3 at the half.
Only one round besides the pistol and the conversion, one for Zeta Division. This was dominant on display by NRG. They outcalled them in the macro. Mata and Scuba were having individually excellent games. And Zeta just could not find the solutions.
And you know what? It's a little bit of a wake-up call, I think, as well, right? We're seeing these teams on the big stage here in New York City for the very first time in front of a packed-out crowd. And Zeta Division, after yesterday, the last match they played, it's a 13-1 stomp up against the #2 team in the world. Now, they're the ones with their backs against the wall.
A couple months ago, 3 of their players were just playing online matches in Challengers Japan. The rest of the team was watching Champions from home, watching Pacific playoffs from home. This team didn't even make it there. Well, it was NRG, the ones on their screens, making it to the finals in Americas, winning it Champions. A squad that is just so comfortable in this type of environment.
Yeah, I mean, they love the lights, that's for sure. Looking good up there on the stage. But this is also a very different scenario, I think, for the teams even within this tournament. The last 2 days, we had 17 teams. They were always playing best of ones. You were playing different teams all throughout the day to try and make it now into the top 3. First time we're seeing a best of 3 between the teams, and of course this is NRG's map of Corrode. So Zeta Division both have this second half to try and reset themselves and come up with the answers on the attack side, as well as potential map 2 and 3 in this series. And like you're seeing there, some Zeta love in the crowd. We were sort of getting people to cheer earlier on, and Zeta Division had a lot of support from the locals here in New York.
They need it right now. Let's hear it. New York, if you're rooting for Zeta Division, let me hear some noise.
But if you believe in the reigning champs NRG, let me hear it.
The NRG fans have gotten louder, fired up by what was an excellent first half.
Yes, they are. We're going to be jumping back into the second half in just a little bit for these two teams. Now they've had a chance to breathe a little bit, to take it all in, calm themselves down, because that first half was lightning quick. I mean, those rounds were decided within the first 20, 25 seconds sometimes. We'll see if that pace continues here on Zeta's attack.
And at least on the first round, it looks like it just might. 4 players posted up towards A main.
But Zeta did a lot of this before, right? Sticking together, 4 players, 5 players, just brute forcing their way on in, and that will continue here. Echo to lead the charge. And now zipping through with a wall on the left-hand side. Mata sent backwards, and Echo just continues forward. It's looking for a pinch back into mid.
What is this round? They've pinched into the mid players, and they're ending B. But the issue, look at the flank.
It's a crazy
behind.
round. Absolute mess, and Scuba's turned around on Sugar Zero, is waiting for it.
How is he ready?
It's a brilliant macro round from Zeta, an A to mid pinch, leaving Sugar Zero in mid still. But the pings are there. NRG are fully aware of his position, and he's low on 45 HP, right on opposite sides of the wall. Mata is there, so things start to equalize for NRG. They're gonna take their time to regroup back into spawn.
Brock was a beast in the pistol round for NRG yesterday. Trying to do it again, but it is flanks on flanks. Honey Bunny trying to secure this round.
Yeah, remember the Ghost 3K from round 1. That was from Honey Bunny. Now Echo left inside of the site just to stall out time, just to create chaos. Honey Bunny arrives, and it's a double swing with him and Echo. Now the clock's starting to dwindle away. NRG just don't have the time. They need these fights. They need to get on the spike. There's way too much left to do, especially with Honey Bunny around the corner. We're sticking it over to half, but Absol's there for the second pistol of the match.
That's the Zeta that beat G2 and FNATIC yesterday. What I was most impressed by was their set ideas. And that's a great example of one here. Fully feigning like it's an A execute, but with two players working up mid immediately. See that rotator coming off B, full pinch back into the site.
I mean, this was so cool. I just want to watch this again because it's three players going through A, looking like it's an A split, when in reality they regroup in mid.
And even the little parts of it, Sugar Zero being ready for a flank, expecting with that mid presence for the B player to have pushed through. Really excellent stuff from Zeta.
A very cool round, and now NRG gamble incorrectly, stacking the wrong side of the map.
The story of this game for both teams, really.
It really has been. So many of these fast rounds. But I am curious because Zeta, of course, really struggled after the initial pistol round and the one after that in the first half. Didn't have all the early fights going their way, didn't have the ability to hard anchor and stall out on the sites. Are we thinking now that the attack side is a little bit more favorable for the agents they're trying to play, for even their play style as a team?
I do think so. I think that for them, they're a team where their best successes are when they're controlling the pace, where they have the idea.
I'm sorry. While we were talking, Honey Bunny lurked into A, so while Zeta had an open B site,
they're calling back into the stack.
Because they didn't know that...
Okay, they're calling it off now. He saw all three, all good.
Well, they assumed that B is the site that's being full stacked and NRG are just hiding, you know? When in reality, NRG were hiding into mid, so it's a crazy round.
And now they have a great post behind here. But to the point, I think Zeta likes to control this pace. Their individuals are very confident to be the ones setting the tempo on fights, especially for someone like Echo. And they also know that the attack side is where they dominated against both FNATIC and G2.
Gotta go!
And already, I think, seeing very different macro ideas. Some cool looks from Zeta, whether it's the fun split from pistol to now trying to work back into lurk and scout out where NRG were hiding.
It was a pretty standard eco to 4-1 like that and have basically your sacrifice player. It just got weird because the stack was so deep that he thought he had it for free. Anyways, the rest of NRG will die to the spike. Zeta will keep the guns they needed, and all's well that ends well.
I can't die here.
Another point beyond just the players like Echo is that Honey Bunny is great on these lurks. I'm excited to watch how he's going to play on that weak side. Because this is a map where it is very important to be able to call back into lurks. The two keys really are have mid control and have cancel options in the late round when it's not just a fast exec.
Especially when teams are playing comps that don't have like a Vise in them or a Sage in them.
Yeah, no true Sentinel.
Exactly. Then what often ends up happening is that A and B can turn into just 1v1s between one lurker and one side anchor when the teams are so committed into mid, which really allows someone like Honey Bunny to shine.
Zeta this time, similar look to the pistol, fast towards A.
Same from NRG too, a paranoia just to stall things out for the time being. And Mata is there inside the smoke, and with the shorty, Geeko to strike first, Mata as well. Eviscerate Zeta in main in 10 seconds.
That one went a little different. Mata and Geeko last time got taken down by that split play. I like the conditioning from Zeta to show that fake into B through A. This time sent it as an exec, but those anchor players were ready.
Is this not just the story of the first half, though? You know, the pistol one from Zeta, and then as soon as the guns come in from NRG, instantly a round over in the blink of an eye.
Well, I think the question is, if it continues from here, if it's NRG to win this next rifle round and run away with the game, or if Zeta really have a chance to come back.
Zeta not so committed this time in terms of the utility and the noise, but still 5 stacked into A. And Geeko doesn't have assistance.
Shot.
So a great shot, clearing the jump peak, puts Mata in the same position, but this time he's unassisted, and Echo slides on through the gas. NRG now down 2 players without any real position left into the site. And still moving forward. Ethan going on his own, and he's just gonna get cut down. Echo's already got 3 into the round. NRG gonna choose to not even play this one out.
Crowd demanding an ace. But Echo won't be given the opportunity. These players run for the hills.
I guess that answers that. It is a different story to the first half, with Zeta firing on all cylinders here.
After getting dominated on a fast A hit in the previous round, the util pattern they use there is great. Realizing that Mata is always playing that close left position in yard. To have a prowler through the smoke the second the neon is sliding, that is so tough to deal with. Because you have to shoot the prowler or you will be blinded in a second. And you also have to shoot the neon or you will be shot in the head. It's a great exploitative play to an NRG who almost always has their two A anchors playing the crossfire from opposite sides, but will be cut off by that Viper orb.
I think good to see Zeta having that change of pace into this round.
And this shot to start, just outstanding work by Echo.
I mean, it's very different looks even from Echo, whether it's the quiet walk up trying to snipe away at the jump peak and then quickly accelerating into Mata's position.
That's how this team likes to play. They contact up behind the controller utility and then have these highly aggressive pops with the duelist.
This time, splitting up 4-1, gonna let Honey Bunny try his hand around mid, while the rest of the team is B. Good shot out from Scuba, and there's so much stall as well from NRG between the Molly and the snake bite being dropped down.
It is way harder to hard hit the B site than it is A. Getting through that choke when the Viper is flying there, especially when you have a KO with a Molly and a knife to help stall, it's almost impossible.
I think Ethan just had the Molly in hand. It came out so quickly. Just the second Scuba took a shot, all of a sudden the fragments dropped.
Oh no.
Down to 62 HP on XDL.
NRG are happy to give up mid with their player advantage already secured and Mata on a very forward line in A. But Brock will still be under pressure.
Zeta have their eyes on an eventual B split. They've pinpointed Brock's location, tucks himself away for the time being. Just staying alive there makes it way harder for Zeta to get in. Sugar Zero teleported to regroup with his team, but back on site, it's a bit of a brawl. Ethan's still alive inside of Hut, and he's gonna get pinned down by Honey Bunny. The HP bars are low between XDL and Brock. This round not so simple, but with Kiko taking out Honey Bunny, it certainly becomes easier for NRG. XDL, good piece of utility, pushes him back, and NRG will move up.
That's 11 on the board. And NRG that round, after getting the opening pick on B with what you're talking about there, the Molly in hand, ready for a fast execute. They have great protocols for how to play those slower rounds. They know Zeta will be re-clearing towards mid, and Brock does a great job keeping up the pressure with the Odin, while also maintaining his life. If he dies in that position top mid, then that allows Zeta to either have a much easier job hitting B, or even to think about canceling, pivoting, something like that. Instead, Brock locks them in. And with Ethan and the rest of his team on site, they shut down Zeta's chances. This time, though, it's ults for Zeta. So a chance to do something quicker with a little more oomph.
And it's going to be coming over towards the B site. Now, Mata has the ultimate positioned to throw that straight down this choke point. And that means Kiko's the one to set up to take the fights. Good shot from him initially, and that's even before Paranoid, before the ultimate online.
Second round in a row, Echo has died that early. Zeta will contact out now, but still Mata's ult waiting in the wings.
Oh, this is going to be brutal. Now with Brock there, hitting the spam as well. I mean, they don't even need the ults. They don't need anything. NRG just dominating this A site.
Zeta were not given a chance to start this round. NRG recognize how dangerous it is to let them contact into you. Instead, they are ready with the spam. They shut them down in the smoke.
And truthfully, this is the make or break round. NRG about to go up to game point. Zeta Division without one of their initiators and without their duelist.
Without much of the map. Just a slow walk back through elbow, trying to split into A.
I don't think you're winning 6 in a row against the best Kuro team in the world. Zeta need this round badly. And that's going to require heroics. Honey Bunny has been good, but the positioning locked up into sight is even better. NRG, flawless so far. I don't even know if they took a point of damage. Kiko and Mata, the only players to even take a lick. It's flawless from NRG.
They didn't. I mean, Mata, after not getting an opportunity to use his ult at the start of the round, holds it for contact there again, rips it, and the entirety of NRG triple swing out towards guard and eviscerate Zeta.
Yeah, and that's just Mata understanding how important the round is. He doesn't care about using the ult there because it puts NRG in such a beautiful position for the rest of the map.
Again, Mata is not just a great Waylay player because of his excellent mechanics. He's not just a great Waylay player because of his decision-making. He is great because of how good his utility is, even when it's not to set himself up.
And it has to be on an agent like the Waylay. So pivotal for the team in stage 2, and
There's some revenge. I mean, Zeta lose Stu to Spam in the last round. Now they get an opener onto Ethan.
but NRG have interesting position over A. You see Mata was crept up into A main, still have Kiko on site. So Zeta Division, they lodge Sugar Zero over into Link and decide to move the rest of the team onto B. Echo not even taking time for the snake bite to wipe away.
With the wall down, they're ready to go.
Here we go. Quick rotate over from Kiko. And now Zeta decide actually they're going to go back to A, but the problem is Mata. Mata crept all the way through A main. And Mata with a beautiful position to cut off the rotates, to cut off the spike. And I think he hears the footsteps. Mata playing this so cautiously. Have Zeta actually gone the right direction? They're taking the spike away from Mata, so Mata only has access to 1 kill. That is not a round ender for the team.
But he's waiting. How long does he want?
Oh my God, he takes out the knife! Mata punished! But the rest of NRG have showed up on the A site. It's not over just yet with Scuba coming back in. Zeta under immense pressure on every single front. Put down the Viper's pit. Now Brock entering into the site. It's got to be Sugar Zero, and it's got to be dodging away from this Hunter's Fury. Scuba back into the side, and Scuba foot forward to take map 1.
What was that round? Mata fails a knife kill on the flank, opens up the A site, but it matters not. Scuba with the 4K, and NRG take map number 1 of this series.
A clinical start there for NRG, 13-6, delivering a big wake-up call to the hero squad from Zeta. Just coming off the back of a big win, but this is a best-of-3 territory. There's plenty of Valorant left to play.
100%, but I'll tell you what, though, it kind of felt like a little bit of a horror movie moment there. Can you imagine you're like creeping down, you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Poor Absol's like, the crowd is cheering for some reason. I'm by myself.
Oh my God, Mata, it's Slender Man right behind me.
I know, it really was. It had to have been. It was crazy. But what a great game there for NRG. We saw a strong start for Zeta Division, right? But I think it goes to show you, especially on this Corrode map, Mimi, like, it's NRG's playground.
Yeah, it was that piss around win and pretty much nothing after the fact. NRG had such great calling on their attacking side, the way that they were choosing when to play into mid, punishing Echo on these forward plays. And when they got into the second half, it was just as lights out. Their defense is excellent too.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the duo play between Mata and Kiko over on the A side was really good. Even after they lost the pistol, I think the timings they were taking to like push through spokes, especially Mata. Like the second Kiko is getting engaged, he's the one taking an opportunity. I think he finishes the game 19-10. It's just a great showing for him up here.
And I think they made Zeta look a little one-dimensional. They had some nice preset rounds, but their attack side, the whole game plan is contact Los on these smokes and then rip through with a KO flash and the Neon. NRG just started spamming smokes and they got an outrageous amount of value from that. And once those initial execute ideas failed, Zeta really struggled to find plan B.
Yeah, and I think that Zeta now, they're in a real difficult spot here, needing to go to the go back to the drawing board, excuse me. They don't have a lot of time to do it, obviously. With that being said, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about map 1 and so much more right after this. back, everyone, to Red Bull home ground, New York City. Of course, I'm Golden Boy here alongside Mimi and Ender as we look to break down what we just saw in Map 1 and get us ready for Map 2, because we took a trip to NRG's favorite playground. It was Corrode to kick things off, and surprise, surprise, everyone, if you're just joining us, shocker, NRG's quite good at this map, Ender.
Yeah, this is a great reminder for everyone. If you ever find yourself in a chance where you're playing NRG in a game that matters for any reason, ban Corrode. It
might be a good idea.
It's a good strategy. Typically, teams at Champions might have learned from that because they're still the best in the world at it.
Yeah, they are absolutely incredible at this map. Mata especially had an outstanding game, as he always does. We've been talking about him a lot, but I really believe he is the best player in the world at playing solo Waylay. Most other teams do not play as much of this agent alone, meaning the primary duelist with no one else alongside her, as NRG does. And he's so good at picking the timings of when to go quickly, picking the times of when to play more passive. He can op on the agent. He can rifle exceptionally well. And his util usage is always outstanding, as he put on great display this game.
I think for me, what's so impressive about how he plays the Waylay is it doesn't matter if he's like the first one into a site, like on the attack side, setting himself up or playing off his teammate's utility, or like we saw him, how he was holding down the A site on defense with Kiko, where it's Kiko taking the first shot, but it's him with utility to play off the back of that. It's him taking a good timing to trade out his teammate. It's such a level of depth, I think, of play from him that he's always finding success.
And remember, I mean, the coordination between those two that you were lauding in the last game, Christy, that's coming off of a team who has just picked Kiko up after it had been him playing alongside Sam on that site for so long, and already they've put together some excellent synergy, and Kiko's playing that position very well.
Yeah, well, let's keep the conversation about Mata going here, because this guy was absolutely lights out in this opening game here. And I think that one of the parts that, Ender, you rightfully pointed out was how Mata approaches the game in a very, not, I'm going to say unconventional, but he's very much playing for the team. He's always ensuring that he's giving himself not just an opening to work with, but he's also providing those openings for whoever he's around.
Yeah, I think what I would call him is just a very well-rounded player, right?
Yeah.
It's not that he always has to be the star of the show necessarily.
Although he ends up becoming the star.
Exactly, right? And I think that even in this game, when you saw there were a few rounds where Zeta Division were ready for the typical things he's trying to do on attack and having multiple players to swing in and make sure they can shut him down, he was still able to continue finding holes.
We got to talk to him, GB, on his run-up to winning Champions back in Paris, and what I was really impressed by was the mentality at which he approaches the game. That was the biggest event he had ever played when he went on to win the trophy with NRG. But throughout it all, he never let himself get blinded by the name of any other big player in the tournament. He always believed that he was just as good, if not better, than anyone else he could be playing with. But he's also accomplishing that confidence, that ego you need to be a top duelist, without letting that affect the other parts of the gameplay, without it making him greedy or being a bad teammate in any way to the rest of NRG. He strikes that perfect balance, and you see it in how good he is.
And it's ironic now that he finds himself in the opposite position to that, where he's the big name, he's the champion coming off that stage, and it's Zeta that have to put the name tags off for a minute, right? It's Zeta now with their backs against the wall, having to battle back and win twice in a row, or else fall to the lowers and play another best of 3 after this to try and get the rematch. That's tough.
It's a tough one, and you know, when you had mentioned when we talked about Mata, and we talked to Mata in all those conversations in the past, and it really does resonate with me. I remember him saying, like, I'm built for the stage. I'm ready for the stage. Put me up there, I will destroy. And look what happened.
He's back up there now,
He's back up there now, and he's already doing it. The man is an absolute treasure. And of course, Zeta Division, as you see on your screen, those boys are going to need to figure out how to shut him down. Heck, we didn't really talk about Scuba. He also had an exquisite game as well. Lots of work to be done here by this Zeta Division team. They're going to need to figure it out. But for now, though, let's send it down to the legend herself. I think we got, oh no, we don't have Liz ready? Okay,
Where's
it's all
Liz?
good. Where's Liz? Liz was supposed to be around. It's all good.
We'll find her.
We'll go to Liz. We'll go to Liz.
She's in New Jersey.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she went in the tunnel. She's on the other side already.
The path train got canceled for the 18th time today.
You hate to see it, kids. But yeah, we'll be, of course, chatting with folks down here in the venue. Lots of people coming out. Hey, New York City, you having a good time today? Love to hear it. It's an absolutely It's a joy, genuinely. An iconic venue that we're here inside of the Manhattan Center.
When was the last time we had a big esports event in New York?
Damn, man. I mean, honestly, there have been a couple along the way. I haven't had much of an opportunity to work a lot of esports events in New York. I mean, Overwatch not World Cup, but finals in Barclays and Brooklyn. When I think about,
but I think that might have been literally the last time a big esports event was there. Was IM after?
I don't care about those things, though. I care about Valorant.
Have
we had that yet?
Yes.
No, and
well,
that's
guess
what matters.
We have it here now, baby. Right
That's
here
what
in
I'm
New
talking
York
about.
City. Best damn city in the world. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead. And I think we got the legend herself, Elizabeth, standing by with a fan. What you got, Liz?
Thank you so much, GB. And I'm here with Angela. Can you stand up for me? Look at Angela here, the number one Zeta fan.
Yes.
Why are you the number one Zeta fan? The number one Zeta fan. Why is it you?
I love rooting for the underdog, but if Zeta starts winning, this is who I become.
All right, since you're the number one NRG fan, Kiko or Som?
Som 100%. I was like, why does Som look a little different today? And then I found out.
This is how you found out. Som's no longer on the team.
Exactly.
Well, he just retired, but thank you so much, Angela. We love you and miss you, Som. But we have a game to get back to with Kiko on NRG.
Oh, man. Guys, can we give it up for Angela? Give it up for Angela, the absolute legend.
Got a little bit underdog.
All right, let's go into the Agent Select here squad. Let's
So
see
they're
where we
running
get.
it back. This is the comp NRG played when they 13 forward Qbert with this Harbor in play. That was off stream. So I'm excited to see how it works, especially because it's a Harbor Omen, not the Harbor Viper you would have normally seen on this map.
Yeah, or even the Omen Viper was another thing that a lot of teams were playing towards the end of this year on Haven, of course. And I do think that NRG might struggle to have faster hits into sites with like the Yor and the Omen. You don't have that aggressive dive agent that can play off of teammates' utility. So instead, you're going to be relying on a lot more of that smoke utility to guard the entrance and guard some of those teleports.
That will be no problem for Zeta Division, though. They're rocking the double duelists this game. We saw how aggressive Echo was on map 1. Now Absol, had a pretty solid performance, joins alongside him, piloting that Yoru for NRG. I'm really looking to see how they want to play into this Cypher, because in my opinion, the Cypher nerfs are pretty significant. It makes hitting into a Cypher site a lot easier. That slow instead of the stun, that wind-up time being pretty tough as well. So I think that exploiting that Cypher is a good plan for NRG.
Yeah, I also just think it's hard in general for Honey Bunny to play this game when there's a Yoro on the other team with the clones to break. You're going to have double teleport agents going into the site too. So Honey Bunny is going to be fighting 2 players on top of him before he can play off of anyone else that would be running through the trip.
So instead of hard anchoring, the way I would expect him to play it is more so if he's playing C, have the retake cages, have his setup more for information, and then get to play Flood retake with the cages to get his Neon or his Yoru, who can very quickly make it their way over to help him on site.
Or even have some like really deep trip set up for some anti-Yoru tech to catch him right when he comes out of the teleport. There are options for Honey Bunny, but I think for him in particular, it's much more about when he's lurking on the attack that I think he could have a chance to
Which even in the loss, he was very good on map 1. He was the best player in my mind for Zeta there, as he has been performing all event long.
Oh, yeah, he really was the one that you can kind of look to on that squad as a shining light, and he's going to need to continue to do that as we get ready for the action to start here. Haven, of course, the battleground for map 2. If you're just joining us, your world champs NRG currently up 1-0 in this series against the upstart Zeta Division squad, who came in hot in this tournament, really showing the world what they're capable of. But for NRG, it's a great chance for them to just continue to establish themselves as not just the best team in the world, but a dominant team to boot.
I'm especially excited to see NRG do that here because it is Haven. This is one of the maps they strayed away from at Champions. Only played it 3 times, lost it twice. I didn't think it was towards the top of their map pool at all. And now with a pretty different composition, moving away from a Neon comp to now pick up instead the Yoru with the Harbor. I'm pretty interested to see how it goes.
Yeah, Ethan on the Harbor, and for anyone that's wondering, this is pre-rework Harbor.
Yeah, I was
well.
going to ask.
Yeah. So this is old school stuff. Maybe
still with the push wall, still with the old alt.
Yep.
I think this is probably the last time you're ever going to see old Harbor played professionally.
Unless they make the finals and then
Right,
run
yeah.
Haven again. But
I mean, like, this
In a
tournament,
general consensus,
this
right?
tournament
I'm being
and
nitpicky.
Ethan, because I don't think anyone left in this tournament has shown any harbor whatsoever.
I like
so
how
he's
you
the
said
only
that.
guy trying to make it happen.
You said that, and Mimi is all like, actually.
Yeah, Mimi actually just hates fun, and that's what this is all about.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
so true.
Yeah, how could you, Mimi? It's unbelievable. People from Philly, you can't trust them. Of course, no. Crazy stuff. Crazy.
At least it's not California, man.
Oh man.
Who on this desk is from California?
You, and he's lived there for...
I have residence there, but my blood, my sweat, my tears are right here in New York City. All right, the best damn city in the whole mother flipping world. That's right. Love this freaking place. That was
impassioned.
By the way, we have anyone from the Bronx in the house today? Okay, we got a couple. We made it down to 6 train. All right. Woo, well, way to go, guys. Way to go. Let me tell you, Metro card prices have gone up.
The Metro card's dying, GB.
That's true. I still saved my Metro card.
It's gone in December.
I gotta have it. I gotta preserve my Metro card for historical purposes. But let's go ahead though and take a look at the series layout once again, right? Because I had mentioned before where we started things off, Parode, NRG, massive win, 13-6. Now we take our trip over to Haven here, and if necessary, it'll be split to settle the score. But I will say this much, Ender, when I kind of look at the compositions and how things have played out, I'm actually quite interested in how things are when things flip. Because you're gonna have these two kind of on both sides, right, that really counter one another. The one team that wants to go and push aggressively, the one team that's looking to block the vision and prevent them from being able to push aggressively. That's going to be fascinating.
Yeah, NRG going to be playing a much more controlled style already. It's not going to be the rounds ending in 15, 20 seconds like we saw back on Corrode. Even on their attack side, they're going to be being very much more measured in their approach.
To talk map pool for a moment, we were mentioning how this is a bit lower in the pool for NRG. Split is like the lowest.
Yeah.
We didn't see them play it at all because of the rotation in the map, so we don't even know where it is and what they're going to be playing. So I do think that is a very exciting way to end this series, to get to see what the World Champs read is on that map going into a new year and a new meta, which is probably still just double duelist.
Yeah, well, not according to NRG, single duelist in both the games they've played so far, so keeping things a little bit different. But I do think there are chances for us to move to a third map, especially given the fact that Zeta Division, their debut here at Red Bull Home Ground, was playing this map and beating G2 13-7 on it. That was how they started off their day yesterday. So definitely uncomfortable territory heading into map 2.
Yeah, Zeta Division need to find that essence that they had yesterday that allowed them to be able to take down G2, allowed them to be able to take down FNATIC as well. But for now, though, let's actually go ahead and talk about, well, rather, let our players talk about the being here, being in New York, and of course, how incredible this city is.
First thing I did was went to Times Square.
So much screens everywhere.
All the lights and the billboards and stuff.
How far is the Statue of Liberty from here?
저는 이제 헬리콥터 타서 뉴욕 전체를 한번 하늘에서 둘러보고 싶어요.
I wake up in the morning and I see the view and I'm like, I'm really in New York.
New York is like one of the cities I want to see in my life.
When I first found out that I was going to New York, I instantly ran downstairs and told my mum. It was amazing.
Honestly, when I was thinking about New York, there's two things that popped to my head, and it's not the best, but like, first of all, Times Square, and then Chipotle.
I haven't been to a city as dense and as big.
I'm excited about the city in general. I've watched a lot of Spider-Man in my youth, and it's played here, so I guess things like Empire State Building.
This is the first time I've ever been to New York, so it's been an incredible experience already. I've already went to Times Square. I mean, God bless. I love all the Red Bull events.
New York is just, it's so different. Like, this is the place where you see in the movies, you see in the shows and stuff like that, and actually being there in person, it feels unreal.
Definitely infamous for the city that never sleeps, and definitely the food here. Food here is pretty unreal. We have had pizza so far at like 2 a.m. and hit the spot.
I mean, we're here for the pizza. I just want to eat some pizza.
I didn't try pizza yet, and I thought the bagel we tried was okay, so I take pizza.
Yo, the dollar slices are not $1, bro. They're scamming out here.
The inflation has been crazy, but...
I'm from New Jersey, so we go to New York for school trips.
So now Not every day you get to play an esports tournament here in New York City, and well, some of our players are definitely in the moment with that one. But yeah, we're going to be jumping to the action a little bit here, Mimi.
Yeah, we heard some of the impressions of New York. I got a question. Most likely pro player to get tricked by one of the photo Elmos in Times Square.
Scuba.
Scuba?
And I will not be elaborating.
All right, New York City, let's go ahead and start this second match, shall we? It's Zeta Division versus NRG.
All right. NRG took map number 1 on their pick of Corrode, but Zeta looked very strong on this in their opening versus G2.
I'm glad that I didn't have to go deeper into that material. Here we
Perfect.
go. Haven underway. So excited to see what this Harbor look is for NRG and what is going to be the last tournament. We get to see that agent before the rework.
NRG are going to start things off. 5 players down long. I guess it's Brock to take the first fight. No issues there. A double sheriff start for NRG, already off to a hot start.
What's Zeta up to? They've grouped up towards mid. It looks like they want to push through pretty heavily on a flank here for the retake.
And you'll see that Scuba, by going for the sheriff, means no alarm bot and put his turret back on site, so he's turning around to hold this himself.
Yeah, he's got a sheriff. Perfect angle to use it.
See his Sugar Zero, sees a couple of players actually running that way. That means Absol is left on his own towards spawn, a slide across the side, and Scuba still gets one. Nutty shot out from him, and now the rest of NRG turn around to deal with this flank. It's a timing game, and it's game of aim for Brock. Now Absol is able to get back into the site, but it's too little too late for Zeta. After winning both of those opening pistols on Corrode, they falter here on the second map.
I do like the read they showed there to try and go for heavy flank retakes playing against Harbor. One of the most challenging things to do on this map is retake the A site when you're getting perma-stalled by Harbor util.
Oh yeah.
Remember, you can throw up two cascades and the actual high tide, and all of those slow you as you try and run through.
Right.
Where it went wrong was how quickly NRG was able to turn and react to fight this flank.
NRG finding the answers to deal with the flank, and of course, once that Harbor utility falls down, you've still got Omen smokes to layer on it. You've got a Paranoia on top of it too. A-site retakes. Very, very challenging, so I think that's why NRG heading here again.
What?
Okay. Scuba just shotgun straight out of the sky.
NRG's worried there was something else hiding behind that. But all the presence is coming from the flank. 4 players walking up, and with the alarm bot down,
Brock is holding for it. Nice shot through the wall. Brock is finding all the spam shots, no matter what the weaponry is. And so, another 30-second round finish for NRG, and they didn't even leave a lobby.
Be it the old NRG when Finesse is calling, or this new one with Ethan in the hot seat, they've always been very good at finding the right time to pause in the mid-round and wait for re-aggression.
Oh yeah.
Here they get this opening cost of Scuba traded out, and then they think it's an anti-eco. They're gonna still try and make a play and hold and get rewarded.
Now NRG have shown the first 2 rounds, all 5 players heading up into A lobby. This time though, maybe some different ideas. Scuba isn't with the team initially, pivoting into probably your typical turret being dropped out here into grass. While Zeta Division actually pushed forward for a bit of a fight. They cloned the first victim.
They put a lot into faking this, but Zeta already knows that no one walked in, so they'll have a quick rotate, but not fast enough to stop the B plant.
Yeah, there is a Cypher trip set up for the spike, but Mata just walks into it himself. The rest of NRG taking very forward space. They want to fight back into C-Link. But Zeta are sort of holding for it nicely, and NRG call away without finding the fight. They don't overplay their hand. What this means is there's still 10 players alive in the post plant.
But there's going to be brutal util late round for NRG. Zeta have to get a move on.
Zeta have no map control, no flank, no control over garage. 4 players in C-Link, now trying to find some kind of an answer. Back into it, Ethan gets the first. And there's another player ratting it out on Gong. First kill goes Kiko's way. He's such a problem, has to be dealt with. Zeta cannot find the answers. With Sugar Zero last alive, more players entering into the Thunderdome. NRG go up 3.
The one new player on this World Championship roster proves his merit that round. Baits his teammate with the Stinger back sight and goes huge to get 2 kills. The layers of that post plant were really excellent for NRG. After faking fully this A fight, they get an easy post on B. Again, feign that they're heavy fighting into C-Link, which buys time, and then it's 2 players stalling backside as the Yoru reflanks, as the Killjoy is sitting in spawn with mollies. There are so many different ways that they stall time.
And Zeta can't know any of that because they were playing so passively, waiting for the fight to come their way. Not the same on this eco round. Again, it's Echo sliding forward into lobby for a shotgun kill.
Is that the vibe of our anti-ecos? Just 1-for-1 with a shotgun?
I suppose
and then
so.
freeze? Seems like they're at least running back the first part.
NRG always going into A lobby. And I think especially when you're playing a comp that is less good at just like hard accelerating, brute forcing its way into a site, it's very important that you're always taking control over A lobby. You need to threaten that you could freeze the round and leave a lurk there in order to play the rest of the map without Zeta being able to stack easily against you.
There's a lot of great things coming with the Harbor rework. One thing that I think teams will be sad to lose is the Cascade. That tool is so good to take early space and to condition. It's one of the best things you can have to fight A lobby on your attack side.
Because what you see is Ethan usually just using that push wall all the way down long, cutting off the fight, making it really hard for anyone to swing through.
And because it's a secondary ability, you can almost always choose to invest that without really risking giving something up later in the round.
30 seconds.
Well, NRG get a free sight. I do want to say how interesting these Cypher trips are from Zeta. Look at these things. The deep one over on B, and then in A link, Zeta were playing an idea to like full give control over B site and just make it so that I guess it still contains the lurker. Or I think maybe Honeybee having some eco ideas and then also realizing that his trips are not going to be valuable against NRG's attack.
He's a bunny, not a bee.
What did I call him? Honeybee?
Yeah.
That's
Get it
crazy.
right.
Well, I was just abbreviating bunny. Honeybee.
Oh.
Honeybee, that's what they call him.
I see. That actually makes a lot of sense. Zeta want to dive the spike. And they should get their wish. It's NRG. Really great start to this game. And all of these first 4 rounds has been them conditioning the A lobby fights, constantly putting attention there.
Womp womp. Well, Brock, I guess, dies to the spike anyways, but
Gets his ultimate for it. That's all he wanted.
They'll
so what do
take
they
everything,
do with
yeah.
that conditioning now? They've shown excelling into A off of it. They've shown fighting back towards B off of that same fight. Now they have Zeta thinking.
Well, the important part of the conditioning is Ethan has to still be over towards A to throw that push wall if they want to keep that look going. Instead, setting up C, and there's a problem here. And that's that Absol is going for the operator play, but with Ethan playing on the Harbor, you're very often going to see a push wall down here on long, just like this, to help you scale on forward, and Absol still goes for it. Nice trade, though, from Brock.
But Honey Bunny got caught by the dart. They know he's backside, but doesn't matter. Finds Brock on the spam and dips back to safety.
That ultimate laid down and a teleport in from Kiko. Still, NRG are down in numbers. Look at this wall, though. Allowing NRG to fight forward, and Scuba's positioning in Garage could carve up Zeta. Very hard to clear this window without someone coming in from Link. And to teleport straight into him. Scuba can be patient. Scuba can wait for Echo to come straight into his crosshair. And he'll fall away to the rest of his team. He's just dancing on him from underneath. And still connects for another. NRG were down in a 3-on-4. But Scuba's the only player that matters. It is picture perfect from NRG.
That round is the Harbor effect. What a weird wall that Ethan throws up down numbers all the way back towards spawn. Makes Zeta think that someone had walked through CT, was holding close to pop out. No, instead it's just Scuba tucked in the corner of window. Getting those critical kills.
Scuba ends up being on the other side of that wall, so they think they're totally safe.
Yeah, and they're putting full attention to clear that out. That's why you see Sugar Zero walk that way to meet up with his CT player.
And that's a round Mimi that starts off with a good off pick. It is led to a numbers advantage for Zeta, but now, after Scuba dominating, Zeta are broke. Zeta have to try something silly on the eco, and that something silly is going to get shut down by Kiko.
Paranoia to shoo Echo away. And another very slow energy into eco. Zeta almost always push when they're down numbers. Someone always tries to make the play. And NRG know that. Echo was thinking about it. Decides to tuck back instead.
Yeah, now just a drone into mid to make sure that Zeta haven't crept up underneath window or over to Bunny. Now Brock almost gets timing there on a quick little double swing, but that's going to mean that NRG can reposition and move back A.
Yeah, seeing 2, they know that it's going to be 1 on each corner of the map.
Does
With
mean
those 2
quick
players,
rotates.
yeah, exactly. We'll be fast into that A site.
Yeah, so NRG won't be surprised that there's multiple bodies on this site, even after that info.
Oh, they're fighting up.
Yeah, going for the re-clear up short. This is good because NRG have not sent someone short. Eventually, Scuba's going to go there. But he's going to be an individual player. That could easily be punished. Maybe not so much. Echo finally gets in there. And now quickly wrapping around onto Long. If Echo could find this kill, there might be something left. It's a good start, and Echo continues. Echo causing havoc in the backlines, quickly shut out of it. That means Honey Bunny up in heaven again. Mata just turns for that one. It's too easy.
NRG 6-0 up. It got dicey with Echo's heroics, but there was nothing more to find from that round. NRG continue to show very good procedures in these anti-ecos. Slow starts to punish the aggression, pause to figure out the setup, and then have great trades in the late rounds as well. If you look at Zeta's perspective, they haven't been able to win the A main fight. NRG has stopped even going there, but with the threat of that harbor, they don't want to do it. Instead, they're going to walk down mid this round.
That turret reveals the walk down from Echo, but that's intentional because what Zeta are doing are they're leaving the operator on their Yoru on B. They're showing the aggression. The op would not be expected on this line. And they know NRG like to re-clear that space.
Mata will spot the drone, re-clearing through A.
It's these players down in mid that are in portal closed. A little bit of danger.
But Absol, his TP runs out, has to pop off the line. Now swinging back in.
And at the same time, NRG stepping back in A. There are 3 players that have crept down long. What can Echo get here? Push Long, he's in front of it. It's nice from Zeta. 3 kills, make it 4.
One enemy remaining.
Zeta used that timing to punish the quiet, slow play from NRG. They tried to clear away all of these different spots that Zeta could have walked up, but Zeta still slipped the net.
And in a 1-on-5, Kiko already spotted Echo. Takes him down for a flawless round.
And that's a major flawless too. It's not just keeping all the guns alive. I think there's 3 or 4 heavy armors that were undamaged in the round.
Huge when you're trying to get a comeback going. And the way they play that round, I think, fits so well to their composition. Like you're talking about, masking the operator in mid, walking for re-aggression. This is not a composition where I think you want to choose to either full commit or sit back. It's about finding the right timings to re-aggress in the mid round and finding out where NRG is. And they do that so well there.
Because that walk up into A lobby comes at 1 minute on the clock. After the same player, Echo, walked down mid for the fight.
The op again. Spotted out and TP back.
I mean, Mata's just getting full information. This is a round where NRG can just dominate with the ultimates, comboing up. Brock is going to follow off of that information. Just the one shot for now, and Mata is forced out of things too. So now Zeta brought all 5 players onto this side of the map.
But they have no way to deal with the lockdown. Instead, have to fall all the way back, and it's what we talked about earlier. Post plant with the harbor. It has so much stall in Mata, even fighting up.
Hunter straight on the other side. Echo dives down into the depths of hell. The rest of Zeta close behind, but Mata making quick work of all of that. Echo still strong into this round. He's down a few. It comes down to a 1-on-1. XTL versus Brock. And Brock is down low. That spike in the open. The drone doesn't catch Brock. Brock has gotten the spike. And the shock as well. Brock waiting for his moment. But now backed over onto default. It's a good dart that XTL dodges from. They're both dancing around one another. XTL! Massive for Zeta!
Zeta Division needed that clutch. Brock nearly stabbed the dagger in their back, but instead they stay in it. And while it was his one-on-one to push this round across the line, it was Echo who made it possible. Watch him sliding in with the shorty. Getting another kill here. Expert movement on the Neon. And saving Zeta.
The heroics next to each other to win that round against 3 ultimates of NRG. We're talking about how hard that retake was going to be. Necessary for Echo to find that.
So NRG go back to their A default. This time, only Mata behind it.
Saul wants to play through the wall. Doesn't love his odds, doesn't want to get slowed through that, so instead just waits back in the corner.
It's so scary to op a line like this against the harbor. Did someone get across left?
Look at it, there's a walk-up Scuba, right shoulder to shoulder with Echo, who decided not to go for it after all. NRG putting a lot of attention into mid.
They'll put pressure garage, try and see if they can let Mata work.
Oh, the Yoru 1v1. Absol is not expecting Maw to be pushed up into the corner.
He'll still have good crosshair placement for it.
But there's no drone from Brock. He used that into Garage. That makes this clear much more challenging. That's the kill, and that's the quick teleport away.
Spike down A.
And Zeta have ultimates to play with as well. So it's going to be this lurk up from Scuba. Knife out is punished. And this forces at least one player on Zeta you'd think to turn around and deal with the B player.
Well, now they're going to call the pivot. And Scuba, his job is to keep the gate open. He won't be tested
30
for now.
seconds left.
Instead, NRG uncontested into the B site. It's Zeta with the ultimates playing retake.
Big kill from Honey Bunny, and I'm also looking at Sugar Zero.
Spike planted.
Now without Scuba, there's no turret, and he's waiting in Garage. 2 players advance towards him. Sugar Zero cleared by Ethan. And now Absol doesn't really find anything on the site. He's got a shorty in hand, a clone in his face, and the timings are not there. XCL has the first shot. That's with an operator on his yours, swing around the side. NRG mowed him down, and are right back in it.
The repositioning from NRG in that post plant was so good. It's the lurk to get them into B, to pivot out of a very bad situation towards the A site. But it's that refight, backing out of B, taking Garage, putting pressure there before then returning to the site that gets NRG the win here.
Yeah, the way Ethan has been calling the B post plants is really nice. You think about that round where they fight forward, fall back. You think all the way back to that round 4, I think, where they had that fake fight over towards A, the fake fight in the ceiling. It's all this aggression and then calling back into the site.
And while those get the same outcome, they're called in very different ways, where Zeta can't get a read in the one way. The NRG want to play their post plants. Off the tough round loss, Zeta will call a timeout. And it's a tough time to do so. Their money's going to be broken. Just looking to maybe hobble something together alongside Echo's ultimate. I really like the rounds where they go for the mid-round re-aggression. I don't think that they've found a lot of success for those early fights. NRG is almost always, at least in those first 30 seconds, waiting for that aggression, using the Harbor util to push it off. I think it comes down to the team calling the right time for Echo to re-aggress and catch a lurker off guard.
Yeah, that seems to be probably the only win condition available to them in this next round with the money low, because the other thing I'm looking at is Absol with the operator has been good on his first 2 shots with that, but he's only fired that weapon a couple of times because whenever they lose a round, their money is just broken.
They have 4A. I'd like to see them play this as a trap play.
That's what they're looking for right now. Not showing their hand just yet. NRG are playing it quicker than they have in the past. Here we go, straight on through things. Echo cut down by Scuba. And NRG's backline makes quick work of that.
It was a good call, but they went too early. Instead of fighting into long cleanly, they had to slide through a harbor wall, which slowed them down and messed up the spacing.
And you think about it, in the last round, NRG only had left 1 player there. So maybe they're thinking they can pick off 1 or 2 guys. They're not expecting it to be all of NRG. It is worth noting that Honey Bunny has walked all the way down from C.
So
There's an
they'll
alarm
know.
bot. Exactly, and now cut down.
Every anti-eco NRG has shown thus far, they're doing the same kind of full team grouped A default.
It's funny that for all the talking Bunkar was doing during the timeout, NRG haven't seemingly changed all that much on the anti-eco, and it's been solid for them thus far. This wall is a little bit different, just cutting down the site right down the middle. Going for a simpler plant and a little bit of spam shot there. What the heck is going on? Sugar Zero having a bit of fun with it, but it's 1 round for NRG.
Last 2 chances in the half for Zeta Division. These will be the rounds they were really talking about during their timeout. Have the money for a glass off on Echo. Will they commit that? I think it is so hard to off when you are playing against this Harbor composition.
Cute little play at the end there from Sugar Zero.
NRG this entire half have basically not touched the C site. They have been leaving Honey Bunny to hang out there. Here, they'll finally put some attention on him. Ethan got caught in A main.
Yeah, that's a tough one. And that was him trying to show that similar utility to the last rounds to make this pop a surprise. So now Honey Bunny is fully prepared for it. Flash in his eyes. He's also fully revealed, but keep your eyes on Sugar Zero. Inside the smoke, it's a good spam off the trip. And with Echo now coming into the site as well, it's still NRG winning. 3 kills for Mata, but now he's got to get 5. It's got to be more.
Yeah, it's the ultimate to recover the spike. Sends a TP. Which way does he want it?
Not quite yet.
Broken immediately. He just has to run.
He's
Sets
coming
his
out of here
TP now
completely.
towards B.
And he has no clue where XDL could be. He's faking it, no sticking. Players approaching from both sides. It's quick timing here from XDL and a good punish for Zeta to get their third.
Zeta catching Ethan there. He's absolutely massive. We didn't get to catch the kill, but as soon as he dies, you immediately understand that that presence on C is real.
Yeah.
And with this double duelist comp, your defensive rotations are so fast. The Neon sprinting, the Yoru on a TP. And thus far with how slow NRG have been, they haven't been able to take advantage of that for Zeta.
I love that anchor smoke you see on your screen there too. It allowed Zeta to start flooding players back in from C-Link. They were able to use that smoke to shoot off the Cypher trip that Honey Bunny had set down, similar one to that you see on the minimap now.
Yeah, they had anchor cages as well that helped that goal further.
It just means impossible for NRG to get control over backside. Yeah, NRG with a similar round, different position of the push wall.
They use an Omen smoke along instead to see what they can see, but with the Neon jump through, Zeta will realize that this is again fake presence. A well-timed drone in mid as well. They should figure out quickly that this is a C finish.
But for the attack, NRG has some ultimates at play. There we go, Ethan to start things off, and Eco might even teleport deep into the site. It's a bit of a mess on here in backside as Echo finds the first kill. And now Kiko right in front is shut down by Honey Bunny. A quick reposition as well on low HP. Zeta Division are here on the site. C is not working out for NRG, and now the flanker Absol comes in as well. NRG have nowhere to go. They've got no health to their name either. After this timeout, after the eco, Zeta Division have fought back. And Brock gets 2 kills, a little bit absurd. Yet the round doesn't seem super doable, especially with that timing caught. Zeta Division come back within 4.
I love the decision to disrespect the harbor out there. These last 2 rounds were all about the sea anchoring and really great floods. It's a similar scenario as the first game where we end 8-4, but with basically the opposite split. Instead of winning the pistol and getting stomped out after that, it's instead a latter half recovery, winning 2 sets of 2 rounds. That'll feel a lot better going into the second half, especially if they can win a pistol, as they did for both in game 1. And I think another great thing is how well Echo is playing. He is on a roll right now. 15 and 11 for the team on the Neon.
And he's been so active in all their rounds. Every single round, it seems like he was walking forward right at the beginning, whether that was the ecos, finding shotgun kills, whether that was being the first one to flood back into a site on a retake. I mean, his retakes in particular were really impressive. Jumping out of A heaven to find 3 kills on that 1 turn point round.
For sure. Talk of retakes though, that's going to be one of the biggest strengths of this composition for NRG. Harbor is great at cutting players off and segmenting off the retake to make it easier to get through those choke points that are notoriously hard to flood from on this map. You look at the early rounds as well, and you'll likely see similar ideas using push walls for a lobby to aid in the fight there, or to walk up C-long too. There's a lot of creativity with this agent.
I think one of the big differences though in the way that Zeta like to play is that you're almost always going to see them trying to leave these lurkers in really pivotal positions. The space they'll take, they'll often leave a guy there like Honey Bunny to be able to listen to rotates while the rest of the team leaves. He's the guy to step up in the mid-round.
So if I'm NRG, I'm thinking, hey, Honey Bunny is having a rough game right now, sitting at 3 and 10. When he's on the lurk in mid or towards C-long, what ideas can we have to re-clear and flush him out? Because once you kill Honey Bunny, it becomes a scenario like Corrode, where if they can stall out and execute, there is no other choice for Zeta.
And if you're trying to get into the weeds and think about what the teams are thinking, those are, of course, the things going to be running through their minds. But the stakes as well are incredibly important for Zeta Division, right? They're already trailing 1 map in this series. It's a best of 3, trailing 8-4 at the half. If they lose this map, if they lose this series, they then go down to the lower bracket to compete in a best of 3 against G2 right after that, right after this. And that's for a rematch tomorrow against NRG.
Think about what this team's run means as well. Valorant is huge in Japan. We learned that when we saw Masters Tokyo. We see that in the viewership of their challenger leagues, of every Japanese team in Pacific. But it has been a drought since Zeta's last miracle run in Reykjavik of a Japanese team doing well at a global event. So Zeta trying to right that wrong, keep this run alive. They would have to start here.
It's going to start with an attack down C long. Positioning Mata is in, though. Very difficult to deal with. And now with this wall dividing up the site, it's going to be Mata in the corner, finding a couple. Ethan turns it around. NRG say no. No miracle, no magic, not today. As the energy is sapped out of the room. A potential Zeta comeback.
Insult to injury now. Almost unlimited smokes ready to block the spike towards long. The two Zeta players separated and spotted.
It's just not going to happen. Not with the classic down there. And while Honey Bunny will check in with him in a couple of rounds and how he's able to succeed on the lurks, this is a round where no matter how well you do, it's just not going to happen.
Such a great hold from NRG.
Man. Ethan for the 3K, and you see a little glimmer of what NRG are going to be trying to do. It's not even just the retake, it's also the quick flood with the Harbor.
Yep, it's so good to block the dive player off from the rest of his team. It's way harder for anyone else to get through a Harbor smoke. Here, it wasn't even the smokes, just Ethan swinging off Mata's contact. You saw it last map, but it's true here as well with the Yoru. Mata loves playing close on smokes in off angles like that, and he is excellent at single-handedly anchoring in those kind of positions.
But even if he dies, there's still two players quickly into the backup site. But what I want to look at in this round is Echo. Shotgun purchased, every single eco. Think of that first half. Echo picked that one up, was always good for a kill. This time quickly moving into the A site. Check that out. Already NRG are here, and they are cutting it down Zeta, so the story continues to be the same. It is a nice kill to start things off, and a nice second one there, but a 2K through the smoke is a little bit silly to end things quickly and bring NRG up to double digits.
This is the round for Zeta Division to show anything they have left in this series. Full guns available, and a chance to showcase what their game plan is. Looks to be an early start towards A with the double duelist. A good composition to take that space. But I think the problem really comes down to actually getting into the sites against an NRG that has such good stall utility.
Getting into A might be a little easier. Look at Brock, that is a Bucky in his hands. Isolated towards A currently.
Still, Yoru TP a Harbor wall up, and quickly it becomes more of a problem if you can't run him over immediately.
It's all about the quick rotates and the quick flood from NRG, and that's why I think a guy like Honey Bunny is going to be especially important. If you can catch the rotators on B.
It's a very Zeta round.
Ooh.
Get an embed towards mid, get an embed in A. Give yourself choices.
But where they move from here is a little bit unclear. Going to be sending the drone and Echo into garage. Good spotting out from that. Forces Mata backwards. And this was just to create threat. Maybe even leave Echo in garage while the rest of the team work up into A.
3 players grouped there. Kiko.
Oh,
NRG dropping out.
It's a good kill from Absol, but you can see NRG already had the read. Ethan was calling his team over into the A site. Brock trades 1-1, and now Ethan. So strong on the pistol now with the rifle in his hand. Tag team with the squad, but Zeta have left the spike all the way over to C.
I'm interested that Sugar Zero goes back in there. Maybe had a chance to dip away. That'll beat the ultimate out. And the round comes down to Echo and XTL.
Echo continues to inch forward. But if he goes forward, it's straight into Scuba's judge. And now the gun's been spotted.
Spike planted.
Little damage dealt. The match resting in the result of this round for Zeta. They must win this. It's going to come down to this forward fight. A turret put up to stop the advance. XTL now walled away from the angle. Isolates the fight, but it's Ethan to rip his head off. Echo in a 1-on-3. Ethan turns for him, and he's bringing a knife to a gunfight. Ethan for another 3-piece. Shuts this game down.
There's something about Ethan in New York. Not his first time here on a stage like this. And having such a good game for his team. 17-8 on the Harbor. He topped the scoreboard on this map against G2 as well. And now, just 2 rounds away in their second international final. in just a few months.
Ethan just completely beasting it, yeah. That's the look of two coaches that don't need to do a whole lot in this one. At least not yet. Not until Zeta put up more of a fight, but...
I don't think NRG have even called the timeout. They're chilling.
No, not beating NRG.
Or rather NRG, that is, of course.
Yeah, against their bonus means that Zeta are forced down to a low by again. Mata can take some liberties outside of Garage. It's hard to believe much in a round like this, especially not with Ethan there. Ethan is always the first guy onto a site because he's so often playing right down the middle. But now this fight forward makes things a little more interesting, and Mata pops straight out for 3K of his own.
If you're playing against NRG, it feels like Mata is everywhere. You spot him on one angle, and he's seeping back. He is always so fast to rotate in, and part of the reason is that Scuba and Ethan have done great jobs of constantly stalling enough time for him to be here, but he's just a nightmare to deal with.
I mean, Mata and Ethan both are just seemingly teleporting around the map. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Combined, sitting 38 and 14 on KD. Not too shabby. So yeah, Zeta are gonna call their final timeout here, and it comes after losing all 4 rounds on their attack half.
It would need 8 rounds in a row to come back against the world champs on a map where they're comfortable, against an Ethan and a Mata who are confident. And as a reminder for the stakes, NRG win here, your day's over. You hang out, watch your opponents play, and get to prep for a BO5 tomorrow. For Zeta, if they lose it, you are right back in the meat grinder. You have to step back up on that stage against the 3-time America's champion in G2 to try and beat them again.
Now, the promising thing about that prospect is the fact that, okay, yeah, they already beat them one time in a best of 1. The problem with that is that G2 have been watching this game. They've been seeing NRG, this controlled pace, really posing problems to Zeta.
And guess what team loves to play that style? It loves to play that pace. It's G2.
So, to decide it all here, round 17. To go to finals, NRG just need 1 more round. And it's Brock holding the line with his own, and it could just be over right here. 2 for 1. Puts NRG in a beautiful position.
Zeta are sent scrambling.
They have found themselves in a good position. They're calling towards the right side of the site.
Even still, they need a pick. They need some way to even these odds, and that is their opportunity. Sugar Zero takes down Scuba and opens up the entire left side of the map.
Sugar Zero teleporting all the way back in Gong. He can hear the footsteps. You see the pings on the minimap. He knows where Kiko is. It should be a free plant for Zeta. And chips in the night. Mata walks straight on past Sugar. It's another pair of footsteps Sugar Zero is hearing. And he's got such a quick timing on this with his knife out. He could even find 2 here. A Hunter's Fury off of the info from his teammate. The footsteps to push them back into Sugar Zero. Now a paranoia. The utility from Zeta off the information is perfect, but at the same time, Mata's on the site. Now he's out. A great round, a signature round from Zeta, but it still comes into a 1-on-1. Kiko stepping into Psalm's shoes for NRG. Now just needs 1 clutch to send them to the Red Bull Home Ground Finals. He won't be able to do it. XCL on top.
That was a straight up 3-on-5 for Zeta. XCL finished it, but the only reason they had a chance was the Sugar Hero finding that pick into mid, getting the information to allow the Hunter's Fury and Spawn to come through, and buying so much time for XCL.
But those are the types of rounds Zeta need to find somehow. They need 7 more of these rounds where they can poke holes in the defense of NRG. We've seen so many times NRG quick to respond to early aggression, to overstack a side of the map, to leave gaps in their defense. Zeta need to poke and prod and find themselves in forward spots.
This round, they're going to pick up the pace. It's a very quick split into C.
And it comes with NRG having 4 players on the A side. Scuba not even trying to play C.
Brock will have the Sova ultimate for this retake. But Ethan's going to be very late.
Garage is the battleground. Zeta send 2 in there. They've locked down their flank. But if Zeta can hold Garage, their chances here are great. Can even come and fight forward. Brock just sees Echo, takes him down. But now by holding on to Garage, Zeta have quick movement back into the site. Hunter's Fury from Brock. Not catching out Honey Bunny. It's a bit of a mess. Scuba drops him behind. And it's an execution from NRG. Sugar Zero forced away. XCL also off of the site, but Sugar gets back on in. It's a full stick inside the cove. It's a full stick from Ethan. No one is there, but he is. XDL back to back. And a round win for Zeta.
XDL, the one man keeping his team in it in repeat C post plants. They needed their hero. And looking back at this round, so many moments where it could have gone wrong.
The Cove giveth, the Cove taketh.
And it does. NRG were slow on the rotates, had Ethan so late towards A, but now they have to go again, and Echo flying a Bucky with the ultimate. He is not slowing.
It is light speed, a teleport into the backline. So Sugar Zero up on top, and Ethan saw him through the pixel inside
fake,
the smoke.
But look at Mata.
Oh, it's a mass Mata inside of the corner. Quick trades out from Honey Bunny. Zeta, full steam ahead. And yet NRG have beaten them to the punch every single time. This time it's Kiko. Sidestepping on the back of sight. And the rest of NRG have shown up. So Zeta slow things down for just a moment. Waiting for an opportunity, but it's not going to be there. XDL has been a hero twice before, but 3 times seems nigh impossible. Jump up from Brock. XDL is waiting for him. It won't be there. Scuba sends NRG to the final.
NRG, their second final in just a few months. This time, a new player in the mix in Kiko. And an achievement for him. A dominant 2-0 victory against Zeta Division.
Back-to-back 13-6s. NRG picking up right where they left off. First time playing in front of the NYC crowd. Absolutely delivering as the hometown favorites.
This is a team that thrives on stages like this. They've been there as a squad before. Ethan has been here so many times. Now yet another final